The Activa 125 is the first BS6 scooter of India. It's significant because small single-cylinder engines find it harder to meet the BS6 emission norms. So Honda had to go all in and rework the engine and ditch the carburetor for a more expensive FI unit. All of this led to an increase in the mileage at the expense of a slight power and torque loss. The reboard engine is now 124cc and they have cut down frictional losses and lightened some of the parts weight in the engine, but the overall weight of the scooter has still increased by 3 kg from the previous version. The scooter has a metal body which has a fan base among Indian customers who have seen these scooters last a really long time and made Activa a household name. The scooters for today's testing have been provided by Duga Honda, so if you're looking to buy any Honda scooter or motorcycle, you can give them a call. Their numbers are on your screen and I'm sure they'll be happy to help you out. Instead of doing a simple review, in our review we will ride the Activa 125 along with the 6G and find out which scooter is best for you. The first thing we did was test out the 0 to 60 timings and the top speed. The Activa 125's numbers are not surprisingly quick, but for city commutes, they seem to be sufficient. However, the suspension on the Activa is set to soft, so unless the road conditions are perfect, higher speeds unsettle the scooter, especially the rear seems to wobble a lot. The suspension can be hardened as it's a 3-step adjustable system, and I recommend it to be set to the hardest settings if you plan to ride fast. The factory setting is set to soft, which is good for absorbing speed breakers and potholes. It does that job pretty well, and I tested that several times. So relaxed riders should be happy with the factory setting of the suspension. The front telescopic suspension on the other hand is very well composed and I have no complaints with it. The thin rear tires on the other hand may be good for mileage, but it doesn't do anything for high speed stability or cornering. Refinement is somewhere Honda has improved a lot. The scooter sounds really nice. Vibrations are so less that the engine feels absolutely a gem, and I've ridden previous versions. This is definitely a generational change, and the moment you ride it you will feel that, and it's one of the biggest takeaways with the FI and BS6 unit. Of course, with more technology, the prices are going to increase, and instead of just trying to manage costs, Honda decided to put in a lot of value for money features into the scooters to make it more attractive to the customers. We took the scooters to a fuel station where we discovered that Honda has put a nice feature of an external fuel lid, so you no longer have to pop open the seat to refuel. Also, a neat cubby hole for a small storage space up front, though a charging port inside the cubbyhole would have been really appreciated. The new starter motor is completely silent and it's an AC generator. Not only is it silent, but it consumes less fuel to crank up the engine, and Honda claims that's going to improve mileage by 10%. There's this nice feature which is the auto cutoff of power. So I turn that feature on, and when you're idling, it'll cut off your power, and when that signal goes red, all I have to do is just crank this and it starts. The scooter has a very upright sitting position. The seat height is low enough for the shortest of riders at just 712mm. The seats are wide and plush, almost too plush for my tastes. The scooter is pretty flickable and really lightweight, so filtering in traffic won't be an issue. The cornering is reasonable for a scooter, but like I said, I'm not comfortable with it, and those thinner tires definitely do not help. The top two variants of the scooter come with an LED headlamp. This is where we were slightly disappointed, and we tested these scooters out in the night because we realized that very few reviewers will actually test them. The low beam on the Activa 125 just wasn't adequate, and that's what we use most in the city. The high beam was slightly better. Oddly, when comparing it with the deluxe edition of the Activa 6G, it had a much better, wider low beam, though high beam on that was again weaker. the Bergman Street Touring Maxi scooter, and it is more expensive. The N-Torque again puts in way more features, cuts down the mileage to around 45-40. It again targets to even more performance oriented audience. Between the Bergman TVS N-Torque as well as the Honda Activa and the Aprilia SR125, I've ridden all of these scooters. The Bergman is more for taller riders, comfortable long rides, and feature packed with a large boot space, but it is also premium and expensive. On the other hand, the Aprilia is more for city commutes, extremely sporty ride feel, good pickup, good power, excellent handling by the way, and really low on the mileage numbers. The Honda takes a completely different approach and is targeting more of the family commuter scooter approach, where it's going to give the best in class mileage and it's going to give you enough power to do the overtakes in the city. So if those are for the fun, this is for the more practical users. Well played Honda by targeting a different set of customers who really do not have much of an option apart from the Suzuki Axis or some of the other scooters, and there I think Honda will do pretty well. So we've been riding the Activa 125 BS6 edition. This is India's first BS6 variant scooter. As you know, it's a fuel injected version. They also followed up with the Activa 6G, which is another BS6 version. But first let's talk about this one, because this is the one which impressed me the most. Having the same underbone chassis and the same telescopic suspension up front, it is kind of common with the Activa 6G, but what we have extra is the power, a little bit more torque, and that difference really feels in the performance. Around 95 kilometers plus top speed, and the 0 to 100 timings are also significantly better. There are 3 variants. I've already detailed them out for you. So in the top variant there's the disc brake, and that's why I always ask you to go for the safer option. All of them have the combi braking technology that has been there since ages in the Honda scooters, so that's very safe. One thing I did not like is the boot space. Full face helmet cannot be fit in there, which I liked, which was there in the Bergman Street, which remains my favorite scooter in the 125cc segment. But the Activa 125 is cheaper. It is also more practical, has the most amount of mileage with around 50 kilometers per liter in the city, around 58 to 60 kilometers per liter on the highway. Mileage depends on the rider, and if you are kind of careful with it, there is an eco mode and you ride it slower, you probably can get even more than 50 in the city riding conditions. Moving on, we will now move to the Activa 6G there, which is the 6th generation. And remember, this one in the top 2 variants does have a very beautiful LED light system, whereas on the Activa 6G there are only 2 variants, standard and deluxe, and the deluxe gets LED whereas the other one gets halogen. One small downgrade was even in the deluxe variant, previous version had a digital fuel, but here the full thing has been made back to analog. But Activa 6G is the most important one because this has gotten the different upgrades that we were looking for in a 100cc scooter for a very long time. The underbone chassis is basically taken over from the 125cc scooter, so that's a similar wheelbase, similar chassis, and also the same telescopic suspension. Another thing that I raised concern about was the 10-inch rear wheel, whereas the front is 12-inch. I would have preferred both to be 12. I like that handling that way, but it's definitely up to personal preference. Again, the same kind of boot space, as you know. That scooter has certain advantages like the start-stop feature. Here, as it's a little simpler, but they have made certain changes to the design. The front feels a little bit sharper thanks to the styling. Since mileage is higher on both versions, if you were looking to buy an Activa 5G just for the mileage, you can actually go for the 125cc version and get close to those mileages. I kind of feel lacking in power when I'm riding the Activa 6G, whereas I'm more than happy on the 125cc version. And this one obviously will deliver the mileage. It is supposed to get 10% extra in the 6G variant, and most updated because fuel injection, better chassis, telescopic suspension, so the 6G gets all new upgrades. If you really don't care about the power, you're kind of a slow rider, or maybe you're buying it just for the congested kind of traffic and you don't really care about the power, just the mileage, then go for this. Otherwise, I would definitely suggest the 125cc version. I know there's a price difference, we'll put it up in the chart, but still would recommend that one any day since that's a better overall product. I know views about the 6G are not supposed to talk about just 125cc all the time, but to be honest, I always want my subscribers to get the product that they will be happy with over a long period of time. This is just keeping it honest. Thanks for watching, and I hope you like this review. We are having a huge light issue. We started a little late today, but anyways, like, subscribe, and obviously, like I say, 22nd March we're coming up with something big, so you should stay tuned for that as well. This is Rahul. Goodbye.